What's up, Gov Seekermans? You Gov Seeklerks? Seeklerks? What's up? You're Seeklerking governmenters. These are horrible sentences. Hello, everybody in the chat. Welcome, like, share, subscribe, click buttons, do all kinds of things. I'm in a weird sort of a closet-like space. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. But I am wearing a collared shirt that has blue accents here. Isn't that nice? Nice blue accents. I got a good haircut that's coming in nice. You know, I really stayed on top of them to not give me Marine Corps boot campy. I think they just, when they see, oh, you're an American, you guys love war, so they just assume I'm just going to be like back to the barracks. But we have an exciting program for you today. Very exciting business that is happening. It's horrible sentence. Let me make sure I have this sent to my computer. All right. Welcome everybody watching on Lee's YouTube, on my YouTube, and on the Rockfin. You can do super chats. You can also do, if you're on Rockfin, you can tip the show. Rockfin is free to sign up. Catching it live. Yes, you are. Galt McDermott wanted me to grow your hair. I don't know what that means. All right, let's do it though. Let's buckle up, kids. It's 6 in the morning in the West Coast and 9 a.m. 9 a.m. bright and early, having a coffee. It is in the middle of the night for me. I'm somewhere in the Laotian border. No, I'm kidding. I haven't been able to find any tax, so I can't put up my backdrop. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Government Secrets with the two most censored comedians in America, Lee Camp and Graham Elwood.
This might be the loopiest intro we've had. I think this might set the record. Hello, Government Secrets. Whatever. I don't know. What fucking words, things.
It's a lot for me to be. I have to put together words in a cohesive sentence, Lee. I mean, it's like
it's a lot. It's a lot.
It really is. You're asking a lot of me, but I'm able to do it.
Yes. This is an exciting show, exciting episode, and to be honest, I can't tell the difference between your haircut this time or last time. I can't. I know it makes a lot of difference to you, but
there is no difference at all. None. It's just me and my anal retentiveness.
But the difference was that you spent the whole 30-minute haircut going.
No. Settle.
Swatting his hand away at every moment.
Yeah, this is what getting your hair cut in a foreign country where you don't speak the language. You just have to be like, no short here.
No G.I. Joe. No I. No hoo-ah. No hoo-ah.
No G.I. Joe. No G.I. Joe. No G.I. Joe. No G.I. Joe.
They probably understand no hoo-ah, I think.
They're probably big Arlie Emery fans. It makes sense. I get it. No hoo-ah. No hoo-ah. No hoo-ah.
Like, okay, he's not Hawaiian. We got that much.
Just, who is this babbling American in the hair salon? What is he talking about? Yeah, no hoo-ah. No hoo-ah. Um,
Today, we're going to cover the U.S. coup of Australia that I was yesterday years old when I found out about.
It's so, having been to Australia numerous times and really I haven't been there since before the pandemic. I'm dying to go back. I'm in a part of the world where I'm closer and I want to go see it. It warms my heart that America committed a coup there, of course, that America somehow interfered with one of its allies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you get for being an American ally, is we're going to coup you.
There's basically two types of... Every country of the world has been cooed by America or a mixture of America and the UK. At some point, it's just... If it's a white country, it was usually done politely. And if it's a non-white country, it was done with bombs or assassination or some shit.
Yeah. But it's coming either way. However you want to slice it, you're getting cooed, you know?
Yeah, one way or another, we're cooing you.
Yeah, there's a coup coming. Whichever, America's like a corrupt cop. Like, you go easy, you can go hard. You're getting cooed one way or another. You get to choose.
We're breaking your knees either way, but you can yell and whine, or you can say thank you very much. Those are your options.
Yeah, we give you an envelope or we give you a hammer to the face. It's your choice.
And then we're also covering the 3M cover-up.
Decades-long 3M cover-up, still contaminated water in the Twin Cities. It's good business.
What would you like to do first?
I want to know how Australia got cooed.
All right, let's do it. Do you want to do a funny voice, man?
No G.I. Joe. No G.I. Joe.
No. And also coming up on the day.
It's time for segment number 1 with Lee Camp and No G.I. Joe. Woo!
It might sink in more with him if you said it in that voice. Coming up, I would not like to have my hair cut like a Marine Corps soldier.
Then they're like, oh, okay, announcer boy, America. Okay.
So this is coming. It was printed at Consortium News, good outlet, but it was written in 2020 by the great John Pilger. Certainly the best journalist Australia's ever pumped out, and perhaps the best Australian that Australia's ever pumped out. And John Pilger.
I think Kangaroo Dundee or Crocodile or whatever.
Crocodile Dundee, yeah. Kangaroo Dundee is a whole other thing.
That was his brother. Yeah. The Dundee boys.
Kangaroo Dundee was not nearly as tough. He was just
he was kind of hard to pin down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But John Pilger was a great journalist. He died just a few years ago. So mostly I'm reading from his article. But because he's an Australian speaking about Australia, there's a couple of points where I've got to try and clarify some things that if you don't live in Australia will very well might sound insane. But anyway, he says, and he's wrote this in 2020. He says, today, Australia is a vassal state, bar none. Its politics, intelligence agencies, military, and much of its media are integrated into Washington's sphere of dominance and war plans. And that, of course, includes today as well. In Donald Trump's, first Donald Trump, current provocations of China, the U.S. bases in Australia are described as the tip of the spear. So a lot has changed. There is a historical amnesia among Australia's polite society about the catastrophic events of do you want to guess what year, Graham, the U.S. couped Australia?
I would say it would probably be right around World War I times.
Oh, wow. You're giving us more credit, as if this is something that needed to happen way back. 1975.
Oh, no way. We could have in 75.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I think so. America just was like, well, we just lost the Vietnam War. We got to go. We got to get a win somewhere. We got to go steal something.
That plays a role in Vietnam a little bit. And also this was the time where like 60 to late 70s was when the US and the CIA were just like cooing everyone, including our country, assassinating our own president. Like, and they did it, I think, more obviously, usually. Although right now Trump's about to, he's sending drone bombs at Maduro, so it's not exactly quiet. But this was I feel like that window was really a unfettered CIA, MK Ultra shit. And
yeah, they assassinated a president, a presidential candidate, and 2 black activists. I mean, they were just going hog wild, the CIA. They did it, like you said, they did a coup on American soil with JFK. Why not?
Yeah. Why would we let Australia get away with this?
Yeah. Nope.
So at that time, starting in 72, the prime minister was elected. His name was Gough Whitlam. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Gough Whitlam. Australia briefly, and John Pilger says, during the Whitlam years, Australia briefly achieved independence and became intolerably progressive. What the CIA and the Brits viewed as intolerably progressive. And just to be clear, Whitlam was not like, he wasn't privatizing all the assets. He didn't sell off the oil take over the oil companies and give the profits to the people. So it's not like he was Fidel Castro, but he was just too far left and too much into Australian sovereignty for the ruling elite that includes both Britain and the US in this.
Yeah, and it's you really can't, all that lefty helping the less fortunate stuff. We can't let happen too long. I mean, it's just bad. It's bad.
Helping the less fortunate and also acting like you make the decisions. Like, no, you're Australia. You just bend over and say, "May I have another?" That's what are you pretending you're your own country?
Nice try, boys. Sorry.
The last Australian troops were ordered home from their mercenary service in Vietnam, assisting the American assault. But not only were they ordered home during this time, but Whitlam's ministers publicly condemned U.S. barbarities as mass murder and the crimes of maniacs. The Nixon administration was corrupt, said Deputy Prime Minister Jim Cairns, and called for a boycott of American trade. In response, Australian dockers refused to unload American ships. I think they mean dock workers and not pants. So I don't.
Pants? There was a pants revolt?
I don't think there was a pants rebellion at this time, but.
Pants rebellion. Yeah, a lot of pants rebellions were going down, a lot of slack revolts.
Listen, doubt the power of the pants at your own risk, my friend. They can take you down whenever they want to. Whitlam moved Australia towards the non-aligned movement and called for a zone of peace in the Indian Ocean, which the U.S. and Britain opposed. He demanded France cease its nuclear testing in the Pacific. In the UN, Australia spoke up for, wait for it, Palestinians.
Oh.
That's going to be, I think the CIA is just sitting there with a "you need to be cooed" bingo card, and they just check things off. They're like, stand up for Palestine, check. And when we get 5 in a row, then you see a laser pointer on your forehead.
Yeah, but the automatic bingo one is socialize natural resources. That just is an automatic.
That's just at the top of the board. That's just all done. Yeah.
Yeah. If you hit that one, the whole card just starts lighting up. Bing, 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 bing.
The other ones is like, okay, stood up for Palestinians. You got one of 5 before you need a coup. Yeah.
You got 1 of 5. Like, all right, workers' rights. All right, okay.
One commenter, American commenter at the time, said no country had reversed its posture in international affairs so totally without going through a domestic revolution. So basically, it was a revolution at the ballot box. It was a revolution of people voting for a guy that actually stood up for Australia's sovereignty and viewed what America was doing, the America hegemonic power, as horrific and barbaric. And unclear why, but the CIA didn't like this.
That's weird. You think they would love this? The CIA loves this kind of stuff. I don't get it.
I mean, they care about people, right? So
that's what the I stands for. I care. The CIA, I care.
Whitlam believed that a foreign power should not control his country's resources and dictate its economic and foreign policies.
Ooh, bad move, pal. Bad move.
Check mark number 2 on your bingo card. In drafting, here comes another check mark on the coup bingo. In drafting the first Aboriginal lands rights legislation.
Oh, no, sir. No, sir.
Giving back land to the natives.
You cannot reverse colonization. Sorry, pal. Bad one.
His government raised the ghost of the greatest land grab in human history, Britain's colonization of Australia, and the question of who owned the island's continent's vast natural wealth. Edging, so he hadn't socialized the resources, but he's making moves towards saying some of them might belong to the natives.
Yep, oh boy, that bingo card is lighting up. It's
looking red hot. Don't touch it now. Australians had served every British imperial adventure since the Boxer Rebellion was crushed in China. In the 1960s, Australia pleaded to join the U.S. in its invasion of Vietnam and then provided black teams, so secret teams for the CIA. So prior to Whitlam, they were all in for just the horror show of Vietnam and everything else the U.S. wanted to do. U.S. diplomatic cables published in 2013 by WikiLeaks disclosed the names of leading figures in both main parties, including a future prime minister and a foreign minister, as Washington's informants during the Whitlam years. So secretly, the CIA in Britain have people within Australia's government actually working for them. Like their allegiance is really towards the U.S. empire in Britain. So...
wow, isn't it weird? You know what I mean? Can you imagine living in a country where politicians from both parties are bought and paid for by a foreign country? Can you imagine what that must be like, Lee? Can you?
It sounds egregious. I assume that must be Cuba you're talking about. It sounds just awful.
Yeah, there's no way that's happening in the United States.
No. So then Whitlam, this might be the end of the bingo card. Whitlam started going after the Australian Security Organization, kind of the equivalent of their CIA, if they have one. The initials are ASIO. And basically,
asshole?
What's that? Asshole? Yeah, it's
asshole. Is it for asshole? I'm sorry. What was that?
Yeah. ASSO. Asshole. No, it's Agio.
Okay.
But anyway, when his minister, that was the final straw that broke the camel's back. He started referring to them as assholes, and that was it.
These fucking assholes over in the security agency. My accents are horrible, but
that was the best we got on this show. So please throw in more Australian accents.
I'm going to do Ronald Reagan as an Australian.
That's what that was. That was Ronald Reagan. That was Australia. It was Kangaroo Reagan.
Well, Nancy and I were going down under, if you know what I mean. And I put my shrimp on her Barbie.
So disturbing. Thank you, Alex, for supporting the show.
Oops,
Also,
sorry.
we got a bunch of people throwing in super chats at once. Love it. Thank you guys for supporting our work. Really means a lot. So he starts going after ASIO, which had long been their allegiance had mainly been to like the US and Britain. Like, yeah, they were the Australia secret organization, but they really had an eye on being like, yeah, but we're making sure America's happy.
Yeah.
And they were feeding information back to the CIA all the time. So when Whitlam's ministers publicly condemned the U.S. bombing of Vietnam as corrupt and barbaric, a CIA station officer in Saigon wrote, quote, "We were told the Australians might as well be regarded as North Vietnamese collaborators. So condemn our war in Vietnam and we will view you as the same as the enemy."
Oh, God.
Alarm in Washington rose to fury when in the early hours of March 16th, 1973, Whitlam's Attorney General, Lionel Murphy, led a posse of federal police in a raid on the Melbourne offices of ASIO. So they raided the Australian security offices. Since its inception in 1949, ASIO had become as powerful in Australia as the CIA. Australia is home to some of the most important spy bases in the world. Whitlam demanded to know the CIA's role and if and why the CIA was running the joint facility at Pine Gap near Alice Springs. As documents leaked by Snowden revealed in 2013, Pine Gap allows the U.S. to spy on everyone. So Australia is a key. That's why it's part of the Five Eyes. Australia is a key surveillance location for U.S. empire. Victor Marchetti, the CIA officer who had helped set up Pine Gap, later told John Pilger, quote, "This threat to close Pine Gap caused apoplexy in the White House. A kind of Chile coup was set in motion." So they disliked this guy a lot, but then when he started going after the CIA's spy bases, that was kind of game shutting match. And I'm doing John Connery without meaning to. That was game shutting match. Thank you, Ratso, for supporting the show. Rock on.
Really appreciate it, man.
Okay, so then John Pilger starts to talk about a position in Australia that does not exist in the United States. So Australians, probably know all about this. I had never heard of this position. It's called the Governor General of Australia. Graham, do you have any idea what the Governor General of Australia is?
Well, he's the general that's right next to the governor.
Nailed it. You didn't go off the context clues, did you? So Australia still kind of technically is part of Britain, right? Part of the British Empire. Now, Britain doesn't really exercise any control over Australia. Technically, the King of Britain is also the King of Australia, or a queen at that time. But so King Charles is the King of Australia. It's like borderline meaningless. No one really talks about it. It's, and people view the monarchy in Britain as borderline meaningless, right? They're not supposed to really have any power, even though technically the king or queen signs off on the prime minister. Like, they need his signature, even though they never do anything. So there's this position which is appointed to basically represent the crown, called the Governor General. Now, that position, and I argued with ChatGPT in circles for like 15 minutes. Like they're like, well, it represents the crown, and I'm like, well, then it's doing what the crown says. It's like, no, it doesn't do what the crown says. It does what the prime minister said. And I'm like, then it doesn't represent the crown. Does it represent the people of Australia? It doesn't really represent the people of Australia. It's insane. But anyway, so this position is a rubber stamp. It's like the FISA court in the United States. Like, any warrant that's ever asked for, they just bang a stamp on it. Yeah, approved. That's all it's supposed to be.
Speaking of banging stamp, I banged a Nancy stamp late last night.
You forgot the Australian part of. You forgot the Australian part of the Ronald
Oh, mate. There, he just says mate.
That just turned into straight up Ronald Reagan. That was... you forgot the koala half of Koala Reagan.
I'd like to play your didgeridoo, if you know what I mean.
So the governor general is appointed essentially by the prime minister. The prime minister says, I'd like so-and-so to be the governor general. Then the crown, whatever the hell that is, rubber stamps it and says, okay, that's the governor general. At this time, it was a man named Sir John Kerr. The CIA, in internal documents we now know, referred to Sir John Kerr as our man Kerr, meaning this guy is all in for the CIA. But he's not really supposed to have much power. He's just supposed to do what the prime minister, who was actually elected, wants. Kerr, to continue from John Pillager, Kerr was not only the Queen's man and a passionate monarchist, he had long-standing ties to Anglo-American intelligence. He was an enthusiastic member of the Australian Association for Cultural Freedom, described by Jonathan Whitney of the Wall Street Journal as an elite invitation-only group exposed in Congress as being founded, funded, and generally run by the CIA. So this guy's straight up CIA. Like,
God.
Yeah, he's got this position in Australia, but he's CIA.
What was his middle name? Langley? Like, was it just like John Langley Kerr?
I think we had a Langley like in the last episode. Anyway, Kerr was funded by the Asia Foundation, exposed in Congress as a conduit for CIA influence and money. The CIA, quote, paid for Kerr's travel, built his prestige, even paid for his writings. Kerr continued to go to the CIA for money. I mean, I don't know why. I think at that point you just call him a CIA agent. Like, is there any real difference? I mean, maybe he didn't do the special ceremony where they all jack off into the skull of, Karl Marx or whatever it is. But, he's essentially a CIA agent.
Every time I'd get angry at Brezhnev, I would just whack off into a skull of Karl Marx, and Nancy would watch.
I now feel like I'm doing this show with half the time with dirty Ronald Reagan.
He's here. He's always here.
He's always present. He's always present. When Whitlam was reelected for a second term in 1974, the White House sent Marshall Green to Canberra, capital of Australia, as an ambassador. Green was an imperious, sinister figure who worked in the shadows of America's deep state. Here's a subtle name, known as the Coup Master.
That was the guy's name? Was literally the Coup Master?
They called him the Coup Master, yeah.
Oh, God.
Do you think Australia maybe should have known what was coming at that point?
I don't know.
This guy send the Coup Master down. He's not going to do anything. He just wants to look around,
Coup Master just needs a little vacation down under. That's all. He just wants to get some sunshine. I heard you guys got good beaches there in Sydney and Brisbane. He just wants to check it out.
He's just advisory capacity. He's just going to give you some tips just for a minute, just to see how it feels.
And he's going to talk to that British cat whose middle name is Langley. But otherwise, you guys will be fine. Everything's good.
Okay, so they send Coup Master down. He had played a central role in the 1965 coup of President Sukarno in Indonesia, which cost up to 1 million lives. Who's counting? Who's counting, right? One of Green's first speeches in Australia was to the Australian Institute of Directors, described by an alarmed member of the audience as the speech. He described it as an incitement to the country's business leaders to rise up against their own government. In 1975, Whitlam discovered that MI6 was operating against his government. Quote, the Brits were actually decoding secret messages coming into my foreign affairs office. So he's being spied on by the British when this is supposed to be technically still part of Britain, but they're working against him and spying on him.
So it's like he's getting it from both sides. He's getting MI6 and the CIA both messing with him. Great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're on the same team. Yeah. It's MI6, CIA. It's all the same team.
Fantastic.
In the 1980s, senior CIA officers revealed, so this is several years after, revealed that the Whitlam problem had been discussed with urgency by CIA's director William Colby and the head of MI6, Sir Maurice Oldfield, a deputy director of the CIA. They said Kerr did what he was told to do. So that's basically an admission after the fact that Kerr was directed by the CIA.
Good Lord.
On November 10th, 1975, Whitlam was shown a top secret telex message sourced to the notorious head of the CIA's East Asia division, a man named Shackley, who had helped run the coup against Salvador Allende in Chile 2 years earlier. Shackley's message was read to Whitlam, and it said the prime minister was basically a security risk in his own country. Having removed the heads of both Australian intelligence agencies. So this guy he's basically done what JFK tried to do, right? JFK fired Dulles, started breaking up the CIA. Whitlam fired the head of both the Australian intelligence agencies, ASIO and ASIS. And now he was moving against the CIA. He called for a list of all declared CIA officers in Australia, something that had to be done and quickly. That was Pilger saying that CIA decided something had to be done quickly. So basically, the CIA, who was kind of subtly trying to get rid of Whitlam, suddenly lit a fire under their ass because he demanded a list of all CIA officers in Australia. And they knew they couldn't give that to him because that would reveal that people in his own government were CIA. So John Kerr visits the headquarters of the Defense Signals Directorate, which is Australia's NSA, where he was secretly briefed on this security crisis. It was during that weekend in November, according to the CIA source, that the CIA's demands were passed to Kerr via the British. November 11, 1975. That day, Whitlam was going to inform Parliament about the secret CIA presence in Australia. That was his plan that day. He's summoned by Kerr to his office. Kerr then fires him.
How could he be fired by this like rubber stamp, not really has any say from Britain thing?
You got it, Graham. How could he? How could he? And has this ever happened before or after? No, never happened before or after. The governor general basically is supposed to have no power, but this guy uses an archaic vice regal reserve powers to say he can fire the prime minister. It is like it was unheard of in Australia prior to it. It's unheard of after it, and yet it happened. The rubber stamp representative of the monarchy in the government fired the elected prime minister.
Oh, he sounds like the dean in the Animal House University. That's like, you're going on double secret probation. Like he finds some. There's a little known codicil in the Faber Constitution that gives the dean absolute power at a time of crisis.
This goes down like Australians, I guess the ones who know their history to this day know this as the dismissal, because it again has never happened before or since.
Wow.
It was unheard of, and this was at least a popular enough prime minister that he was reelected, and literally he's fired. Like it would almost be like the president of the United States being fired by someone you didn't know exist. Like,
yeah, being like the assistant janitor to the Federal Reserve building has has one little law that he can enact once every 300 years.
As John Pilger concludes, the Whitlam problem was solved. Australian politics never recovered, nor the nation its true independence. The destruction of Salvador Allende's government in Chile 4 years earlier, and scores of other governments that have questioned the divine right of American might and violence since 1945, was replicated in the most loyal of American allies.
Wow.
So yeah, who knew that Australia had been fucking cooed by the United States, the CIA, and like no one talks about it. I'm putting the newspaper from that day on the screen here.
Yeah, this general executive exchequer, whatever this guy's title was or whatever, just viceroy to the, oh, wow. Wow, they will come up with any crazy, geez, the CIA just can't help themselves.
Yeah,
wow.
It's yeah, they always forgive the word, using the word Trump. They always have a Trump card. They always have an ace up their sleeve, and if they don't, it's a bullet. But lots of times they've got techniques that are not bullets.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that was segment number 1, how America cooed Australia. Oh,
and yeah, and mainly, you know, I think they found the stuff like land rights for Aboriginals and standing up for Palestine and being against Vietnam. They found that stuff really annoying, and it made them like furious with him. But it wasn't until he started coming after the CIA that they were like, "Oh yeah, push that red button that says completely undemocratic thing no one's ever heard of. Just do that."
Yeah, let's just make up some old law that never existed or something like that. It's like they just, oh God, it's like wag the dog.
Most people, I think, even in Australia, because it took years to come out, don't know Kerr's connection to CIA, don't know a lot of even what was going on with the CIA or even maybe the Australian intelligence services. So I'm sure the debate at that time, the Overton window at that time, was that there was a crisis in the Australian government, and in times of crisis, they needed to pull that ripcord, and it just becomes a debate as to whether it's democratic and is it really is it fair, and why why it happened. But there's no discussion. Like the Overton window, I bet you the word CIA or maybe even the Australian intelligence services, like not even mentioned probably in the entirety of the debate during those years.
No, not even. They weren't even like, no, it wasn't. No one was like, I bet you Kerr's in the CIA. No one was.
Probably not. No.
I mean, it's only recently come out that basically America's role in the Vietnam War was run by the CIA. It was called the CIA's war. Like it wasn't, that didn't even come to light till recently. I mean, just it's like, God, America.
Or I just covered the other day, actually, maybe I'll make it a government secrets as well, but the CIA connections to 9/11, 2 of the hijackers being CIA informants, and Zeliko's efforts, like successful efforts to cover up everything, even from the 9/11 commission, firing people from the commission, making sure they didn't talk to people. So it's like all that stuff's still coming out today. It's been 25 years. Like,
no, we're living in an insane world where Tucker Carlson is doing this really like hard hitting six episode piece on 9/11 that makes sense. And I'm like, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is like the most level-headed person out there. Like, what?
Yeah. Tucker Carlson did well. 2 things. He did the best, like most of the 9/11 analysis. There were some things that were left out, and also some of the stuff I covered the other day was left out of his thing. But that 5-part or whatever 6-part series he did on his podcast, fucking excellent. Ties together all kinds of threads. He has John Kiriakou on there a bunch, even though he can't pronounce his name. Very, very, very well done. Very well researched. And he's the only one like this. And he's a lunatic. He's like on other topics, fucking unhinged. And yet he's the only one doing that shit, or at least with a giant platform. And the other thing he did, which I think he's the largest platform, other than maybe a viral article I wrote once, to talk about the 21 trillion missing at the Pentagon, unaccounted for the Pentagon. And then at the end of an excellent 15-minute segment on that 21 trillion, he and Catherine Austin Fisk talk about how the answer is to have more Christians running government.
That's when he takes one of these right turns. You're like, oh, dude.
You're like, whoa, what just happened? Literally, they get to the end of like 15 excellent minutes, and she's like, I think you just need more Christians. And he's like, absolutely, you just need Christians. And I'm like, whoa, what just happened?
Oh, God, you were doing so great. And then you forgot that Christians are also really corrupt.
Really corrupt. And the religion doesn't matter in these situations. There are Jews, Christians, there's, Hare Krishnas, I think, stealing shit in the government. Like, it's all.
Yeah.
Religion doesn't matter at that point.
No, it does not. Wow, that's fantastic. Well, I love a whole decades long cover up. That's one of my favorite, me, Lee. I love a decades long cover up.
I do know that about you. Yeah. No.
So this actually came out last year, and but I wanted to get into it because I don't remember it being talked about much.
Segment number 2.
All right, Lee Camp coming in hot. I like it, buddy. This is the former 3M scientist.
Time I did the silly voice.
Yeah, Lee. It can't just be me. I can't carry that weight the whole time. It's a lot of work. I'm doing Reagan. I'm doing wacky yak. I'm doing Australian accents. I'm doing the sound effects. It's like I got a lot moving around over here. I can't find.
I'll work on my kangaroo Margaret Thatcher, and then I'll throw that in next week.
Kangaroo Margaret Thatcher. Just hopping around, busting unions. So this is a 3M scientist reveals a decades-long PFAS, whatever you want, however you want to say that, covers up. This whistleblower exposes the company's
PFAS, for those who don't know, are the forever chemicals, right?
Yes, those are the forever chemicals.
Yeah.
It's like if you've ever drank anything out of a plastic bottle, there's microplastics. It's all that kind of fun stuff. So the 3M, the whistleblower exposed that they had knowledge of chemical risks dating back to which decade do you think? How long? How many years?
1989. Oh,
Lee, you're too kind. 1970s.
Nice.
Yeah, it goes back to the 1970s.
3M is a major company, by the way. Just to throw that out there.
Massive. They make all kinds of chemicals, tape, all the chemical, like all this stuff.
I'm pretty sure they make like the masks and things. They also, I might have covered on this show, a 3M cover up for earplugs in the military. Because in the military, you'll be around jets that cause brain damage. Like they're so powerful and loud, literal brain damage. Like they've measured it. And so you wear the high-tech earplugs to try and not die or get CTE from being around these jets. And it turned out that they were lying about the efficacy of their earplug technology. And so, of course, this is having a crazy impact on soldiers.
Oh, I mean, the times I was always over there was always like big, huge boxes of earplugs for you to put in all the time because everything you wrote on you write on helicopters that were loud, and you just had to wear these earplugs all the time. I actually fell into the habit of sleeping with earplugs over there that I still do to this day. But who knows? Maybe there's some toxic 3M ones, and I'm going to get ear hole cancer, or one of my ears is going to fall off or get bigger than the other one, or it's going to just start talking like Ron Reagan. Well, Nancy and I, we really like buttering up our 3Ms.
They do throw in a little bit of a brain parasite into some of the earplugs.
Great. That's all I need is another brain parasite.
Another one. You already have the Reagan brain parasite.
I have the Reagan one. I have the one that always talks about Bitcoin and Epstein. Like I can't get these things out of here.
Yeah.
So this was a former 3M scientist, Chris Hansen, came forward about her 1997 discovery of PFAS chemicals in human blood samples and the company's subsequent efforts to downplay the findings. Yay. I love it when they do that.
Graham, I think you're going to want to read this comment.
Oh, what's this one? Please ask Graham if, hold on, I got to bring this in here. If Liam and Lisa Neeson need a Nissan, would Liam and Lisa Neeson lease Graham's Nissan Leaf? What's the most random, just tongue twister?
If Liam and Lisa Neeson leased a Nissan, Neeson leased a Nissan, would Liam and Lisa Neeson lease Graham's Nissan Leaf? I get it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Somebody that
is the minimum $5 minimum amount of donation to get a tongue twister on the air. So.
That's great. That's great. Yes, I have surfed Bells Beach in Australia, which is right outside of Melbourne. It's a great surf.
I have a great me getting fucked up at Bondi Beach, which we can tell that story at the end. But let's keep going.
Okay. I'm imagining that your story isn't about wiping out. It's about you were hammered on the beach. But anyway.
Nope.
Hansen was 28 in 1997, recently disclosed that 3M executives had known about these forever chemicals in human blood for more than 2 decades before her discovery. Local Fox 9 investigators have obtained hundreds of hours of deposition videos showing 3M executives being questioned about the handling of toxic PFAS chemicals, revealing a pattern of deception that spans decades. 3M knew about the PFAS in human blood as early as the 1970s through independent scientist research, which again, this is very similar to, we've talked about it numerous times on this show, the internal studies that the oil companies did that found out,
yep.
You know, we talked about that 1977 study, but then you did a segment on this show saying it went back as early as 1958, right? So
yep.
This is part of the rich tradition of our American corporate culture, is just lie for decades and poison the earth.
Yeah. It's America, and it's not just America. It's corporations around the world are drawn towards the profit over all else. And so this is why we're driving ourselves to extinction via capitalism.
Isn't it great?
It is fun. While we're still here. Whee!
Yes, while we're still here, it's a blast. It's a blast. The company had been manufacturing PFAS chemicals since the 1950s, with Scotchgard as its flagship product. Over 170,000 people in the Twin Cities East Metro area have been affected by contaminated drinking water. So once they found this out, they were like, we're shutting this down immediately. 3M had planned to cease all manufacturing by the end of what year, do you think, Lee?
Let's see. Found out about this in the 70s. Shut down immediately.
You're very close. You're only about 50 years off. They are going to end manufacturing by the end of this year, 2025, or so they claim.
Oh my God.
So it's like, wow, this is really bad. It's really dangerous. Just give us a couple decades to figure this out, and then we'll shut it down.
Yeah. That's kind of what the oil industry said about climate crisis.
Yeah.
They're like, just give us like 50, 100 years, and we'll solve this, where it will change things. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll fix this. this is really what happened. So it was in 1997. Well, first of all, the chemicals have been linked to various health risks, including cancer and immune system effects. The 1997 blood sample discovery revealed an industry-wide impact. At age 28, the 3M lab scientist Chris Hansen, who we mentioned before, stumbled upon a discovery that would haunt her for decades. The company's chemical signature appeared in blood samples from the general population. It was like finding the big red 3M logo in the blood of the general population.
This is all around the Twin Cities?
Primarily, yeah. Her initial shock turned to cautious relief when senior executives assured her these chemicals pose no health risks.
Right. They'll be in you forever, but they're totally good.
It's good. You know what I mean? It's like you eat celery, right? Celery's crunchy and good for you and cleans you out, just like 3M green products.
Just like chemicals that were never meant to be in a human body.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like you put on makeup, right? That's not normal. That's not natural. That's okay, right? So we're just putting similar stuff that's in your body, but it's like makeup that can't come off and it gives you cancer.
It gives you cancer. It's like makeup. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just like makeup. They gave her reassurances, came from what she called some of the highest ranking people in the company whose words she trusted implicitly. Oh, sucker. That trust crumbled in 2018 when Minnesota's civil lawsuit unearthed internal documents revealing 3M had long concealed information about the potential health hazards. So she discovered this in 97, told her bosses, and they said, no, you're fine. Okay, 20 years after that, a civil suit shows up and is revealing that there's all these internal documents covering it up.
The only thing that ever seems to have an effect on these corporations, even slightly, is a lawsuit where they're basically forced into discovery and people learn the truth. Like that seems to be the only way.
That's it. 2 decades before Hansen's discovery, independent researchers had already sounded the alarm about PFAS chemicals in human blood samples. Their findings, documented in internal 3M memos, specifically identified the company's popular Scotchgard product as a likely contamination source. Despite launching PFAS chemical production in the 1950s and watching Scotchgard become a commercial success, 3M buried these warnings. The company continued manufacturing while withholding crucial information from its own scientists and the public. I was horrified that there was evidence of a cover-up, Hansen said, reflecting on the documents revealed through Minnesota's lawsuit. The company's silence would have far-reaching consequences for public health research and environmental protection.
They also at that time started selling a Scotchgard Roundup herbicide joint pack. You could buy them together as one. Get the old Scotch Roundup. You know, it just saves time.
Yeah, and it came with a tumbler, so you could just make it into a cocktail with both of those and just drink it directly. The environmental impact of 3M's PFAS production has created a lasting crisis in Minnesota communities. As I said, more than 170,000 people in the Twin Cities East Metro area now live with contaminated drinking water supplies, including Hansen herself. Decades of chemical waste dumping by 3M created an environmental hazard that refuses to dissipate. That's the thing about forever chemicals. They just move. They have high mobility in the environment, Hansen explained, highlighting the persistent nature of PFAS contamination, which is why it's so important to make responsible decisions because we're stuck with them forever. The contamination zone stretches across the East Metro region where residents facing ongoing concerns about their water safety. Final thing here. In December 2024, just about a year ago, depositions expose executive responses. Newly released deposition footage obtained by Fox 9, this is a channel in Minnesota, I believe, Investigators captures Hansen's former supervisor, Dale Bacon, of course, facing questions about PFAS chemicals detected in 3M workers' blood. These hundreds of hours of recorded testimonies document executive responses to the company's handling of the toxic PFAS chemicals. For Hansen, watching these December 2024 depositions proved emotionally devastating. I had a strong emotional reaction to watching the depositions because these are people I trusted, that I assumed were teammates to me. She said, I realize now that the trust was displaced. The videos show how company leadership responded under oath to questions about their knowledge of the PFAS. And there's still an ongoing lawsuit. There's even on this website, can I file? If you or a loved one suffered health issues in the area, you can contact legal experts in the area. And, you know, it's Chris Hansen. I applaud her up to a point. But when are we going to wake up that if you work for a big corporation, they're lying? They're lying. Like if you work for a company, they're poisoning the earth, they're poisoning people, they're lying. Like, I get it if you need a paycheck, but these companies are liars. Don't trust, and all they care about is profit. That's
and the top of all these companies are sociopaths, and it's by design. Like that's how the machine works. If you are not one and you don't lie well, or you say, oh, well, it looks like we're hurting these people, so we probably should take that off the market. That's the end of your upward mobility. You don't keep moving up in the company once you've done anything like that. So the people at the top of these companies are the ones who said, fuck the people, we're making money, or fucking make this decision because who cares about who gets screwed. So by design, the people at the top making the biggest decisions, all sociopaths.
Yes, exactly. If you have a conscience at a big company, you'll get to middle management. You won't be a senior position. You won't do it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're working for one of these companies, all right, I get you got to pay your bills, but understand that they don't care. All they care about is profit, and they will do anything to protect that profit. They will lie, cheat, and steal. They will buy off politicians. They will make fake lie statements in the media. And unless they're under oath and like are facing criminal time, and it's only when the civil lawsuits come forward that it's like, oh, gee, I guess we didn't realize, you know. And if they can shred paper and cut and cover and burn documents and perjure themselves, they don't care. They will do that.
Yeah, sometimes you got to take out a whistleblower, Boeing. But you know.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't matter the industry, airline industry, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the industry. If they're doing something bad and somebody reveals it, they will do everything they can to protect it. Because they're maggot-ridden, soulless worms.
And that's what their mothers call them.
Yes, that is their given name. So that's our episode, guys. I hope it was informative and fun. Lee, where can people learn about you and all of the cool stuff that Lee's doing in the Lee Camp multiverse?
Well, let me first say we're doing an extra segment at patreon.com/government secrets. Join us over there. You can join up anytime and unlock like 80, 90 extra segments. So you can just listen to us for hours and hours and hours. And then you will know everything about history. So,
yes.
That's patreon.com/government secrets. Other than that, I've been pumping out a lot of columns, articles over at realleecamp.substack.com. I have recent articles over there. It's free to subscribe. Recent articles over there about, again, rehashing that October 7th was not what we were told. I also did one yesterday on how Gaza, Trump's plan to steal and colonize Gaza is basically happening. The UN vote approved the U.S. plan, U.S.-Israeli plan, which has already stolen 58% of Gaza. The survivors in Gaza are now forced into 42% of remaining Gaza. And the internal military plan shows that they're going to, quote unquote, rebuild the 58% that's been stolen and leave the 42% in ruins with basically all Gazans within it. Anyway, several important columns over there at reallycamp.substack.com. Oh, and last thing, I'm performing in New York City December 12th. I haven't performed there in years, and I'll be sharing the stage with Jonathan O'Donnell, also from Redacted Tonight. And that's at tinyurl.com/Lee Cobra Club, because I'll be performing at the Cobra Club.
Nice. Nice. Folks, go to GrahamElwood.com. Christmas is upon us, and you can listen to the Socialist Christmas with Graham Elwood album that is available on iTunes, Spotify, and all those places. Download it. That helps support what I'm doing. It's a fun album. There's songs. It's a good old time. I've even made a couple of music videos last year that were just kind of basic, but I'm going to be doing more music videos this year for it that'll be coming out. So go to GrahamElwood.com.
Carsey Blanton, who she's getting more and more successful. She does great little songs that actually have a real political message. And anyway, she was on the flotilla, one of the flotillas. But she posted the other day something about why are there no socialist Christmas songs? And I guess she has one. I didn't play the video. But I was like, she needs to look up Graham Elwood.
Yes, let her know. If you know her, tell her to do that, because she's got good music and a big following, and I would love her to play my album.
Yeah. So,
all right, guys, that's episode. We will be over at patreon.com/government secrets. For as little as $5, you can unlock all 80 plus bonus segments. We do one every week, and we're going to go do one right now. So this has been Government Secrets, episode 191, stealing Australia and poisoning the water and lying. Woohoo!
see you in a minute.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you over at Patreon.